I'm joined now by Steffani Fletcher. She's the founder and executive director of Hope at Hand. Hope at Hand is a Jacksonville-based nonprofit working to inspire joy, confidence, and self-esteem through poetry and art. Welcome, Steffani.
Thank you. Good morning.
Thanks for being here. Tell me, how did Hope at Hand get started and when?
I started Hope at Hand in 2009, and I had been with Duval County Public Schools for 23 years. And to be honest, I was getting a little bored. I'm nationally certified in Montessori education, and I'm nationally certified in poetry therapy. So I kind of mashed up the two and started volunteering with the Bridge of Northeast Florida and Sulzbacher Center for the Homeless. And it was just me in 2009, and now there are 23 of us, and we have a 15-year anniversary next year.
Congratulations. Are you a poet yourself?
Not really. I'm a teacher, so I'm a teacher at heart, and kids love poetry, and they're not afraid of it. Poetry is on the state standards at every grade level, so we have that direct connection to academics as well as the healing power of poetry.
And talk about poetry therapy. What is that?
Well, there's many different kinds of alternative therapies that get people talking, and poetry therapy is one of them. There is play therapy, there's music therapy, there's dance therapies. Poetry therapy is different in the sense that you don't need a license the way you would with an art therapist. So, in a nutshell, we use therapeutic techniques through poetry to get kids to consider confidence, self-esteem, choice, and change. Everything we do focuses on those four concepts.
And who are the kids that you work with? What's the age group and what's sort of their background?
We work with kids of all ages. We only work with partner agencies. So we partner with Hubbard House and Sulzbacher and Police Athletic League and so forth. So we have about 20 different partner agencies. We have kids at Department of Juvenile Justice. We have kids at pretrial detention with felony charges. So we work with kids in really tough places.
And what is the goal of bringing poetry specifically to that kind of a demographic, kids who've got challenges?
So what we do is we give them tools that they may not have. We would never do anything like acrylics and canvas because our kids aren't going home to acrylics and canvas. But if they have a brown paper grocery bag and a pencil, they can do something creative. And that's kind of our philosophy on all of our lessons. They can do our programming independently with nothing fancy at home.
And what is the idea about poetry as opposed to another art form in terms of helping students either recover from traumatic experiences or uncover empathy? What's the connection there?
So we have this arsenal of poetry at our office, and we match up poems to fit the struggle that the kids are currently experiencing. So when we go into a rehab facility, the poetry centers around sobriety to support their mission. So we mirror the mission of every one of our partner agencies. Whatever they are trying to accomplish, we're also trying to help accomplish that through poetry.
So we have a poem that's read. Set it up a little bit for us. What's the name of it and what's it about? And who wrote it?
I think the one that's coming up is called Free. And it was written by a girl in pretrial detention. So she has felony charges, charged as adult. And this is totally unedited. It's just put your head down and write, and then this is what we get.
If I could be free, that's all it will take. I'd roam this earth to clear all of my mistakes. If I could be free, I'd flow like the wind. I'd set sail on the water, go to sleep, wake up, and start over again. If I could be free, I'd never leave home. But I do realize, at this point, the word free is unknown.
Pretty powerful, as you say, for a juvenile who's facing adult charges. A real good likelihood that that person might not be free for quite some time.
Well, she either goes home or she goes to prison. Those are the two options.
And so in a situation like that, which may seem sort of hopeless, what does giving her an opportunity to write that poem provide to her?
There's a lot of research around getting things out of the body and putting it on paper. So, there's many different benefits. I think to the arts in general, there's so many benefits. getting words and thoughts out of the body and on paper lets you capture it. So if you think about your grocery list, if you don't have it written down or it's not in your phone, you think of them over and over because your brain doesn't want to forget them. Milk, egg, cheese, milk, eggs, cheese. If once you write it down, then that opens up your brain to focus on something else and solve new problems. So getting it out of the body and getting it on paper lets the brain capture it formally forever, and then your brain can find other things to work on. So that's one or two.
So we were in our last discussion with the mayor talking about literacy initiatives that she's working on, and I think it's hard to overstate how significant the number of non literate people there are either in prison or in the juvenile detention center. I think it's like 75% are considered functionally illiterate either in any of those institutions, including here in Duval County. How do you approach teaching poetry or an appreciation of poetry to kids who may not have very fundamental word skills or reading skills or language skills?
All of our lessons are designed for success. So we're not doing Shakespeare. So like we don't give them anything that they can't do in our lessons. So there's no way to build confidence and self-esteem if you give them something that's too hard that they can't feel good about what they're producing. So we're non-graded, so they really have the flexibility and the freedom to just create, be creative without worrying about punctuation or spelling. They just get to be creative and they get to be a kid.
What kind of where can somebody get information about Hope at Hand?
On our website, hopeathand.org, and on our socials, we're Hope at Hand Inc. You have to do the INC to find us because there's a rock band called Hope at Hand, and they took up all the social media. So you have to type out Hope at Hand Inc. INC.
Well, I've been speaking with Steffani Fletcher, founder and executive director at Hope at Hand. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.